This pot smells delicious, and it's the base for our ultimate beef stew. Now I have probably 2.5 pounds of beef shoulder that I cut up in large cubes, almost like 1 inch by 1 inch square. I toss them with the flour and I brown them in a large pot, all right, with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and some butter, and we really caramelize the meat. All right. Wine is going to add such a subtle, luxurious sauce at the end of it when it starts to cook down. All right, I'm going to take some garlic. I'm going to throw in whole, because this is like sort of a rustic style of cooking, so I want to see it. Take some garlic cloves, maybe 4. Kind of nice. All right, so I'm going to smash the garlic up, right? And just kind of pull out the large pieces. I'm going to separate from the paper, and I'm just going to add it to the pot. And it's just going to have a nice little sweet flavor. And take these chunky bits, separate from the paper, and just drop them in. Great. All right, that smells great. All right, so we got that. Now we're talking about beef stew. All right, so we're gonna add some beef stock. Right. We're also gonna throw in some fresh thyme with this as well. All right, this is organic boxed beef stock that you can buy at any grocery store. And I'm gonna use about half of this. All right, throw it in. About 2.5 cups. And I'm also gonna add some fresh thyme to this, like a lot of fresh thyme, like a half a bunch. All right, don't use dried thyme. Fresh thyme is the only way to go. And we're just gonna throw the sticks in just like that, because as it starts to simmer very slowly, the leaves are gonna fall off, and then we'll just dig out the sticks later. Now, as far as flavoring the pot, I wanna give it a couple different notes, a couple different pops in the palate. All right, and with that, we've got bay leaf, a little bit of ground clove, which I know it sounds kind of interesting if you're talking about beef stew, but it's, when it cooks down, you're not even gonna really be able to detect it. It's just gonna add a really deep floral note to the pot itself. And I'm not talking about a lot, I'm talking about a pinch. All right, so you got some ground clove in there, just so it's really deep. All right, now I'm also gonna add some bay leaf to this too, right? Now, dry bay leaf are one of those things that if I'm making a pot of something that cooks down for a long period of time, I can't cook without these guys. All right, it just adds a really beautiful base herb flavor to our sauce. All right, so we're talking about base flavors. Now let's talk about a high note, orange peel. It's a great way to pull out sort of a bright, finished flavor out of things. And there's so much flavor inside the juice with like fresh squeezed orange juice, but there's also so much flavor on the outside as well. Like, so the orange peel is loaded with zest, and you can take one of these guys and squeeze it, and all this zest starts to fly all over the place. And that's the essential oil from the orange. That's what makes potpourri smell good. All right, so we're gonna take a couple fat strips to our pot and let that cook down. We're gonna take all of our buddies here. Everybody's going back in the pool, like that. So potatoes are gonna go in first because they're gonna take the longest to cook. They're gonna cook perfectly in this liquid. It's gonna be great. All right, now, because there's a little bit of starch in the potato as well, it's also gonna help it thicken it. All right, and next up we got some root vegetables like carrots, which are great. All right, we got a couple like Bugs Bunny looking carrots. All right, we cut the tips off. And we're just gonna take a peeler, just peel them down. All right, take the carrots and just kind of line them up. And we're just gonna pop them off in circles, just like that. All right, we'll take these guys, we're gonna swipe them in. All right, and the carrots are nice and sweet, so it's gonna leave a nice little bit of sugar to the ultimate beef stew. Throw them in. And give it a stir. It smells fantastic already. All right, now we're gonna add some white button mushrooms to our stew. All right, so these are large button cultivated mushrooms. All right, I'm just gonna take a knife and I'm just gonna pop them in 4 pieces. Give it a stir one more time. And the mushrooms are just gonna start to poach in that rich beef liquid. So it tastes awesome. All right, so next thing we're gonna add is one of my favorite things in the kitchen. Believe it or not, frozen pearl onions. All right, so it's so simple. It costs like $1.50. All right, so we're gonna take, all right, a nice little handful of pearl onions. Pull those in as well. I'm getting all the aroma from the red wine and the orange peel and the herbs and that rich, melted, delicious beef flavor. The house smells awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna take like a little half bunch of parsley, chop it up, throw it right on top, because I wanna get some nice fresh color, also like a really fresh flavor right on top of the whole thing. It looks beautiful. It's cooked down, it's rich, exactly where I want it. It looks great. So I'm gonna take my box of frozen peas, like I said before, right at the last minute. They're thawed out, just gonna throw them in, let them warm up, because you wanna keep them nice and green. I'm gonna finish up a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Touch of salt, a little fresh cracked pepper. And then going in with a big ladle, because I mean business. Take some of our stew. And all that beautiful tender beef shoulder, we braise down for 2.5 hours. All right, we're just gonna pile it up in our bowl, just like that. And I would rather eat this than go to a 4-star restaurant any night of the week.